Pancreatic cancer robbed me of my Pancreatic cancer has a 5-year survival rate of 6%. Pancreatic cancer has the highest mortality rate of all major cancers. 93% of pancreatic cancer patients will die within 5 years of diagnosis. Meet Christopher Charlton. In 2012, a father of 2 was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. He had a 13-centimeter tumor that was treated with the strongest chemo there was. His tumor shrunk 10 centimeters after his first round of chemo, but after another round of chemo, doctors noticed no change. After his 3rd round of chemo, the tumor unfortunately started to grow. That was when doctors told him there was nothing else they could do. He later passed away, leaving his 2 children behind. Imagine being told that you are hopeless, left to die. People like you can help raise awareness for this cancer and help scientists find a cure for pancreatic cancer, so dads like Christopher won't ever be forced to leave their children behind like this.
Hi, my name is Kath and I am here to tell you my story. I am 60 years old, have 2 wonderful children and 2 fantastic grandchildren. My life was going along nicely until November 2010 when I started to feel not quite myself. I suddenly became very tired with no energy and feeling generally unwell. In January 2011, I was admitted into the hospital with what was thought to be a viral infection. I couldn't stop running to the toilet and had pain in my upper abdomen. I was given antibiotics and sent home after 5 days. After 3 weeks I returned to work but still not feeling right as I put it, and then started to go downhill again. I lost 2 stone in weight and suffered a nervous breakdown. After another 6 weeks off work I kept going back to my GPs, explaining my symptoms. Feeling sick, bloating after eating and this awful tiredness. My GP kept saying it was colitis, which I had for 11 years. However, I knew different, that these weren't the symptoms of colitis. Eventually I was sent to see my gastroenterologist. He also said it was my colitis, not to be sure. He sent me for a CT scan and endoscopy which came back normal. I was told that they would do a follow-up CT scan in 3 months' time. During that time I kept on visiting my GPs. I was given anti-sickness tablets and once again sent home. In September 2011, I returned for a follow-up CT scan. A week later I was contacted to go to the specialist as the scan revealed something on my lung. I was then sent for a PET scan to look for cancer cells. At the beginning of October 2011 I went for the results and was told that no cancer cells had shown up on my lung, but cells were showing up on my pancreas. At that moment my son, daughter and myself froze. I was told that they had found it early as it was just over 2 centimeters in size. I then had a more detailed scan followed by an appointment to see the oncologist. That was the day my world fell apart. I was told that the tumor in the pancreas was attached to 2 veins and was inoperable. I went into shock as did my family. I knew all too well what this meant and all I could see in front of me was my dearly loved brother who had passed away 3 years earlier with the same cancer. It had taken over 10 months of seeing GPs and specialists before I got a diagnosis. This is far too long. The government should be made more aware of this deadly cancer. GPs should be on the ball and not keep putting these symptoms of pancreatic cancer down to other things. Both my GP and my gastroenterologist specialist couldn't say sorry enough, and my GP actually had tears in her eyes and apologized for not taking me more seriously. Much too late to say sorry. This was my life that had been destroyed, not theirs. I am having chemo at the moment and I am trying to stay positive. My time spent with my children and grandchildren has become very precious. I haven't had time to feel angry. I just hope that this cancer gets more coverage and more money to research into it for quicker diagnosis and for future generations. This silent killer has gone on far too long without recognition. This has to change. Thank you for listening to my story.
Sadly, Kath passed away on July 5th, 2014, after a long battle. Kath was an inspiration to all who knew her, and supported by many. You wonder why you should spread awareness when you don't know anyone with pancreatic cancer? Because at one point, neither did I. Out of every 100 people diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, only 6 will survive. Help raise awareness for pancreatic cancer and to find a cure. Do it for the children that were left without a dad or a mom, or for the many generations to come that will carry the disease on.